Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond and Bitcoin Live. 0098. Hashtag Kung Fu. So, yes, this is the Kung Fu episode. Hope you all enjoy this. Anyways, let me go over the note section real quick, just in case this takes too long for you to watch. You could just go in the note section, gives you an idea right away what the show is about. So, let me see here. In the note section here, can Bitcoin be replaced via multiple hard forks? James Bond interview. CrushTheStreet published November 9th. My original interview, I think, was November 7th. So when you see me talk about the hard fork and everything, and as of, you should all know by now that there is no hard fork today. Well, maybe not. I'll get into that a little bit later. Anyways, go ahead and watch that video. It'll get you some idea of CrushTheStreet. Anyway, let me see. After that is collect your fees. Oh, I'm sorry. Collect your free Bitcoin Gold. I moved that up a little bit. The network is going to go live. The mainnet of Bitcoin Gold is going to go live. So you probably want to figure out how to split your Bitcoin from your Bitcoin Gold. And if you already had Bitcoins on your Coinomi wallet, there's a link for that to show you how to split it. Then after you split it, I think you can just sweep your private keys into your Bitcoin Gold wallet after that. There's also directions, and if you follow the link, it takes you to the Coinomi support desk. There's several links. It should help you figure out how to do that. Another thing you can do is if you have other wallets and you had Bitcoins on those wallets, you can import the private key, which means you can import the whatever 12-word, 18-word, 24-word recovery seed. You can import that into Coinomi wallet. There's no transaction fee because that is the seed, and it will generate all the private keys, including your Bitcoin and Bitcoin Gold. You could split it, send your Bitcoin out to a different wallet, and then simply re-import your private backup seed, your recovery seed, back to your other wallet that you had. If you understand how to do that, good for you. If you don't, well, watch some of my Coinomi video, and you'll see what I'm talking about, importing your recovery seeds. Anyways, underneath that is a link to Bitcoin Gold. I think November 13th. No, November 12th. November 12th is when the mainnet goes live, so you'll be able to actually use it, maybe. My opinion is don't use it. Let other people use it and wait and hear if there's any weird things going on or any bugs in it or any flaws. If you care about your Bitcoin Gold, I'll go over the price of Bitcoin Gold. I'll go over the fees, the mempool, the chart analysis. I'll go over, I think I'm going to use LivecoinWatch.com today because I'm going to go over all the Bitcoin coins today. All right, so underneath that, in the notes section also, I got Bitcoin Silver. I got a link to the Bitcoin Talk forum just for you guys who are interested. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. It's Time to Stop meme. I got a link for that. Love that meme. Enjoy it very much. As well as Bitcoin Platinum, which I think is a total joke because it's going to have multi-algorithm, proof of work, multi-algorithm. It's going to have all the different types of algorithm, so you can mine on that. I don't know if that's even possible. And then Bitcoin Uranium. All of them are links to the Bitcoin Talk forums. Just to give you an idea that how do you start a scam coin? Well, they all start on, they all start on Bitcoin Talk forums. Just to let you know. Also in the notes section is list of airdrops. I think they update every day. I haven't checked for a while, but if you go on there, it'll give you a list of all the most up-to-date airdrops. It'll even tell you if they're scam or not. And those are for people who like getting free money falling from the sky. So SegWit Charts, I also have a link to SegWit Charts. I haven't checked it. I'm sure it's still around 10%, but you can check it yourself. And then if you're tired, if you're exhausted, let me just make sure I'm streaming there. Yeah, I am. So I have my screen share. If you're tired and you're exhausted of looking at BitConnect, and by the way, BitConnect, I think has will no longer be registered in London or in the UK anymore. I don't know what they've done. I don't know if they're not renewing or if they're rescinding their registration in the UK, but that's usually not good news. I might even go over BitConnect just a little bit. Maybe not. I mean, we all know it's a Ponzi, so that's why they may be exiting right now. But if you're tired of watching all the banners of BitConnect and watching and looking at BitConnect on the coinmarketcap.com, the listing site, you can use CoinCodex because they don't even show up on that site. The banners don't show up. Nothing shows up on that site. And thank goodness, because I'm getting tired of looking at that thing. Another one is LivecoinWatch. Same thing. BitConnect doesn't even show up on that site at all. Not even on the list of coins. So, and also CoinGecko. That's a nice one too. I like that because it has a indicator for developers and community. Something you don't see in these other coin indices, I should say. And so those are some other places that you can look other than coinmarketcap.com. I think that site is overplayed. I think people go to it too much, and they have literally, they don't care about their users because they will advertise any scam coin your heart's desire. Okay, and then I'm going to get into the meat of the show today right here. Bitcoin.org owner wants to revise Satoshi's white paper. This is coming from news.bitcoin.com or simply bitcoin.com. I'll go over that in the notes section. Seems like people want to revise the Satoshi white paper. I'll get into a little bit more detail, but you can also look at it yourself. The link's in the notes section. Also in the notes section, which I'll go over in the show today, is Nvidia's cryptocurrency revenue drops by more than half from prior quarter. So what does that mean? That means no one's buying GPU miners. And I think a couple weeks ago, maybe not even a month ago, I also covered, was it AMD? AMD also expects flat sales on their GPU graphics cards. And so if Nvidia has their revenue dropped by half, that means people aren't buying GPU cards to mine cryptocurrencies. Why? Because they're probably not making any money. I think there was a lot of hype in the last few months during the summer, and people got into it, got into the hype. The altcoin market was kind of hot. It was pumping. Now that it's not pumping anymore, and I think it's been downtrending, which I think it has been downtrending, it's probably not that profitable to mine with your GPUs. Not even Ethereum, in my opinion. Not even Ethereum. So I think the mining, cryptocurrency mining in general, it's overcrowded. And I'll get into that a little bit later. Here's another one. November 10th, let me see. Bitcoin Cash will be called Bitcoin in 6 months. Classic declares victory. They're talking about Bitcoin Classic. Classic declares victory after SegWit 2x cancellation. This is a group of followers, developers, and believers. They call themselves Bitcoin Classic. And I guess they're going to declare victory in Bitcoin Cash. It seems like they moved on to Bitcoin Cash and are following that group. They've joined that particular group of people. And 6 months, Bitcoin Cash is going to be Bitcoin. Okay, interesting. I'll go over that. Yesterday, after the live stream from yesterday, I had Paula Green make a comment. She shared with me a link for Bitcoin2x.org. It's essentially a copy, literally a copy of Bitcoin.org, except the only thing that's different is the Bitcoin 2x part of it. So I don't know if this is a trolling or if this is real. I'll go over this during the show, of course. And that's pretty much the meat of the whole thing, of this show. Everything else in the notes section, mysterious group. Oh yeah, following this, if you want to learn more about the whole Bitcoin 2x, the origins of this, there was a mysterious group, BitPico, threatens to execute Bitcoin hard fork. So that's kind of where the origin of Bitcoin2x.org came from. Also, the reply to the mailing list, which the original mailing list was the cancellation of SegWit 2x, and there was a reply that SegWit 2x would continue as planned, and it would not be stopped by 6 people. So that's in the notes section there if you want to follow that or get an idea of how that all came to. Also in the notes section is why. Now this is not going to be part of the show, but I'm going to leave it in there anyway. For all you people out there who go to CoinMarketCap or hear about BitConnect from other YouTubers, or if there's an ad, if you came to my show and there was an ad and it was about a BitConnect, well, you probably want to read this before you get into BitConnect. But why has ICO Index labeled BitConnect as an outright fraud? The other one is notice regarding high yield coins on top of BitConnect. So there's a lot of coins out there that are questionable. Before you get involved in them, you should probably educate yourself. And another one is, what is BitConnect and why we have decided to distance ourselves from it? And if that's not enough, James Bond Bitcoin Live 0017, that's a video I did, a live stream with 3 BitConnectors and a special guest, Ozzy, the BS filter, came in as a special guest for like, I don't know, a couple minutes, and then he took off. I think he's involved in BitConnect somehow, some way. Anyways, I got 2 of them to rage quit. One of them was stupid enough to stick around and let you know where you can find him. And there was Crypto Blood. He was just a normal guest. He was a control guest, not control finance. He was just a normal guest. And even he admitted everything that these people were talking about, they were involved in a Ponzi. And since these people are involved in a Ponzi, everything's a Ponzi. McDonald's is a Ponzi. Social Security is a Ponzi. The stock market is a Ponzi. And yes, the grocery store is also a Ponzi. So it makes sense for them to be in BitConnect. And usually I have a video, a theme, a video theme that a link to a video. The Cruel Toolage of Pi Me. I think that's how you say it. That's coming out of the movie Kill Bill. Kind of the theme for today, as you can tell by the meme I have going on here. I also have a song to go with this. I have a video of a song, Kung Fu Fighting with lyrics. So as you battle Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold and all the other scam coins and altcoins out there, you could listen to the song while you're doing it. And then, of course, I have hashtag Yes2X66. I'm still naming my memes hashtag Yes2X. I don't have the actual hashtag Yes2X in the memes, but I'm naming them hashtag Yes2X. The link is in the notes section. It was the meme that you're looking at right now. And then Pot of Gold, I have a link to Pot of Gold. And the donation to the Bitcoin Pot of Gold, it's basically Bitcoin Pot of Gold is where I have a donational address and people have put money into it. It's back up to $40. It was below 30, it was below $40, but the price went back up last time I checked. So I've given away 4 clues to the 24-word recovery seed. So I've given away the first 4 words, the clues to them. And then you can kind of try to figure out the rest. If you look on GitHub, there is a list of over 2,000 words in which the 24 words seed generator or the word mnemonic word generator derives its words from. So you could play with the combination thereof, try to crack the wallet that way. Or you could just scan the QR code of the encrypted private key and guess the passphrase. Keep in mind, it is a SegWit wallet, so you probably have to use a SegWit sender, or if you already have a SegWit wallet, you could probably sweep it that way. And of course, I have a link to Hiroja Shive's Space Odyssey Network and Skype, and Yes for Motivation, and Bitcoin and Coffee, the 21 Million Club as well. Go to their channels, subscribe to them, watch their videos. Anyways, that is that. Let's see who's all in the chat. So let's see here. All right, we got Brian. Brian's in the chat. Dual overhead camness. Welcome back, guys. Oh, dual overhead camness. I did not know that. Are you telling me Craig Grant lost 150K in BitConnect today? How is that possible? I didn't even know that. Well, I don't know what I can say about that. If he lost 150K in BitConnect, because what did they shoot? Did they because of the price went down, or because did they exit? So tell me about that, dual overhead camness. I guess I can talk about it if that is true. Let me know more in the chat. Thanks. So let me go into the meme here. The meme is Longs Get Wrecked. Kill Bill. Well, if you haven't noticed today, the price did go down a little bit. The price of Bitcoin. Was it coordinated? Was it planned? It seemed like it was. The Bitcoin classic people declaring a victory and joining Bitcoin Cash. If you think about all these people who are in Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Classic, most likely they had Bitcoin, and they probably bought into Bitcoin trying to support the SegWit 2x hard fork. And then once it was canceled, it would make sense that they dumped their coins. All right, so dual overhead canvas. Let me see. It says here, Craig Grant lost his tokens, 150 Bitcoin tokens. Really? That's news to me. Do you know how he lost his tokens? Could you elaborate a little bit more? That's interesting. And how did he lose his tokens? Because was it from the BitConnect website? Or did he actually, I mean, I don't know any wallets that support BitConnect. I think there's Nova Exchange is closing down, so I don't know if there's a wallet for Nova Exchange. Well, anyways, I think he knew he was playing with fire. I mean, everybody knows BitConnect is a Ponzi, and the website wasn't secure anyway because it's been supposedly exploited, hacked. People lost a lot of quote unquote BitConnect, and it got dumped on the on all those different markets. Nova Exchange, when they, I don't know if Nova Exchange is still going on. So, okay, interesting. If I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, definitely thank you for giving us something to talk about. Wow, that sucks if that's true. You know, you never wish anybody to get hacked or lose tokens, no matter, well, sometimes you do because, you know, it's questionable about how people in this cryptocurrency space, uh, quote unquote, earn their Bitcoin. They didn't buy their Bitcoin, they earned their Bitcoin, and it's questionable how they did that. But anyways, you know, it just goes to show it's much easier. Well, I wouldn't say easier, but uh, you know, just go out and just buy your Bitcoins and put them into a cold storage. And if you use Coinbin or Mycelium, you could spend from your paper wallets. So, you know, and you would own the private key. I find it to be much easier than putting on some exchange. Okay, dual overhead canvas, you say, watch the video he put out. He says he will get them back, but it looks like BitConnect took them from the wallet. So it was from his BitConnect website. Wow. Okay, I'll check it out. That's what happens to people who use people. I guess so. Poetic justice, I guess you could say, or karma. You know, I don't. You know, you wish bad things happen to people because you think they deserve it, but you know, we don't really know the full story. I don't, anyway. I don't keep up with Craig Grant. I stopped watching him a long time ago. Ever since he jumped around to Ethereum, then Dash, and then he just got onto Steam it, and then after that, I mean, I just like couldn't handle watching the guy anymore, and it just made me sick to watch him and Trayvon James as well. And then after that, it's like I got sick of watching so many other people come into the space just to more or less market themselves with multi-level marketing programs or referral programs or start pumping coins. So I just I kind of watch them because I like to know what scams are going on. So after a while, you get an idea of the people who are, I wouldn't say scams, but they have questionable intentions for the reason why they make YouTube videos. And then I just watch them so I could keep my ears and eyes open so I know what's going on, so I don't fall into, you know, people's charisma or start idolizing these people and start following every word that they say, and to end up getting burned, getting used. Nobody wants to be used. So, but thank you for that information, dual overhead camness. Let me get on to the first of all, let me get on to the meme here. Longs get wrecked, kill Bitcoin. So it looks like there's a plan, or there's some kind of effort by a Bitcoin Classic, Bitcoin Cash, and maybe even SegWit 2x supporters to kill Bitcoin. So they sold out of their positions in Bitcoin because the SegWit 2x hard fork wasn't going to happen. And because it wasn't going to happen, they dumped. They dumped, and it looks like they're pumping Bitcoin Cash. And I'll go over that in the LivecoinWatch.com. It's basically a listing site. So let's go over that real quick here. Let's move on to, oh, of course, we've always got to pump the pot of gold. We've always got to pump that, because it's not really for me, it's for you guys. And the more pot of gold, the more Bitcoin we could pump into this thing, I'm sure there's going to be one very, very happy, very, very lucky winner who worked very hard and diligently going through either the 24-word recovery seed or scanning the QR code on the right and trying to figure out the password or the passcode to sweep the SegWit address. It is a SegWit address, so keep in mind. So you have to learn how to use a SegWit sender, or if you have a SegWit wallet, or if you just understand how the private keys work with the SegWit address. And then the QR code on the bottom is a link to Yellow Fever for You and his channel. He's the one that gave me this idea. So thanks a lot. All right, so here you go. This is the amount of Bitcoins and US dollars in the pot of gold, the Bitcoin pot of gold. That's the address. That's a QR code to the address. But I'm just showing you this because Marty Wilkinson, or Matt Wilkinson, I'll just refresh it real quick to see if it loads up real quick. Yep. Okay. So it's still unconfirmed. So he sent this to me, and I checked it. It was yesterday morning. It's been more than 24 hours. He put in, let me see how many Satoshis he put in. I think he put in 9,000 Satoshis, okay, which at the time was 63 cents. The price has gone up now, so it's reflecting a 61 cents. It's dipped down and gone back up, but it's basically a 40 Satoshi per byte fee, still unconfirmed. And the mempool, by the way, is I think up to 50,000 transactions in the mempool. So either it's a lot of spamming or a lot of people are moving their coins around. Of course, I'll go over the fees real quick. So this is why I wanted to show you that. All right, so here is this is Bitcoin.com news today. And it says here, Bitcoin.org owner wants to revise Satoshi's white paper. So in this article, you're probably saying, well, that's sacrilegious, that's heresy. How could anybody want to revise the Satoshi white paper? Well, according to the Bitcoin.org owner, the reason why he wants to replace the Satoshi white paper, or not replace, revise it, is because they feel that some of the wording or the way it was written is taken out of context by other people. And that's why you're seeing this whole divide in which this community is being divided. People are using the white paper as a way for their reasoning for increasing the block size or decreasing the block size, whether the miners have power or the miners don't have power. And let me show you what I'm talking about in particular. Let me see if I can find the quote here. Interestingly enough, they want to, the owners of Bitcoin.org, which is someone by the name of Cobra and Thamos, they want to put out a little online course for people for exchanges and wallets, so they can understand the concept, which is interesting. But here it is. Let me see. Let's see what part of it did they want to change? Okay, so this is the part that they're stressing to change, is this part right here. They vote with their CPU power. This is quoted from the white paper. They vote with their CPU power, expressing their acceptance of valid blocks by working on extending them and rejecting invalid blocks by refusing to work on them. Any needed rules and incentives can be enforced with this consensus mechanism. So they want to change that because they feel that a lot of people are reading this and interpreting this as the miners. The miners, because it says CPU power. Now, I guess maybe you can take it that way because miners do run a node. They often do run a full node. And so it could be construed that way. But they want to change it to kind of express more of people who run full nodes. So in order to run a full node, you got to have a CPU or computer, some kind of computer power, expressing this concept of one CPU, one vote. And I think that's what they're talking about. That is being taken out of context. Is it good or bad? I don't know if they wanted to quote unquote revise it, but I do believe that having the original Satoshi white paper would be helpful, and there should be a notation somewhere and a link to the original white paper. I also believe that even the current version of the white paper is not even the original. I think there's actually even an original somewhere, but I don't know how different or close it is. That's what I understand, but I've read it several times. You know, it's not like a Bible for me. Remember, it was just an idea that was written at that time, and it was a long time ago. It was back in 2008. A lot has changed. The ecosystem of this experiment has changed. The people involved have changed. The development has changed. It's actually may not even be, you know, originally what it is. It's very different now. So, but I don't know about, you know, changing it and then never showing the original. I think the original should be there. You don't want to mess with that too much for the purposes of transparency and history as well. So this is what they're talking about. The headline sounds like they're going to just rewrite the whole thing into something else, which may or may not be true. So let me go on to the next one here. All right, so here's a story from CNBC, and it's somewhat cryptocurrency related, but not necessarily. It looks like Nvidia cryptocurrency revenue drops by more than half from prior quarter. Now, I talked about this with another company, AMD, and they're seeing a decline or flattening of their graphics card sales. And now Nvidia here has come out, and they're seeing a drop. So this is a fundamental statistic, I guess. What it tells me is that people are not buying GPU cards to mine anymore. Either they are not making enough money to justify the purchase of mining rigs, or the value of these cryptocurrencies are going down, which they have declined. All right, so they have declined since the summer, right, of 2017. And so what you're seeing is because the price decline of altcoins, which altcoins meaning everything except Bitcoin, has been trending down. And so because of that, people aren't reinvesting into a mining rig to mine more coins. That's kind of what I get from this. So if people aren't mining, most likely the price will not be going up anytime soon. Does the price attract miners, or do miners drive up the price? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is when miners stop buying mining rigs or equipment for mining rigs, it usually means they're not making any money. So if they're not making any money, that usually means the coin's not worth that much anymore. And so there's probably a price decline here. So keep that in mind. All right, so here is a meme. I am back. Hashtag yes2x. I'll get to the reasoning behind this, but there was a price dip today. So I can put this out there. Hey, Sunspun Production, how you doing? I see you in the chat. Just saw you right now. All right, so the bear market is back. People are saying this is the top. I've kind of been saying it's the top since 6,000, and it really hasn't. But are we really at the top? This episode, I am going to do a chart analysis, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to convince you. All right, I'm going to do a chart analysis that's going to convince you that we are not at the top. All right. Matter of fact, we're only halfway there. How about that? Yesterday, people were saying that there might be a chance that the price of Bitcoin can go up to $72,000. Well, it got me thinking. And so what I started doing is I started analyzing the charts back in 2013 and tried to compare the same analysis to current, price, the current chart of 2017. And so when I did that, ironically, I came up with a target price of ultimate topping target price at $21,000. So if you're wondering why people are coming up with like $20,000, $28,000, $25,000, I think I found a reason why they're calling a target price of maybe next year or maybe this year, end of this year, of $25,000. Now I'm estimating $21,000. But you have to go past 10,000 in order to get to 21,000. So my short-term target price is 10,000, and that still remains. I have not seen any indication, any confirmed technical analysis of a topping at all. I've seen some short-term corrections and short-term declines, but to call it topping, maybe. I can understand maybe why, but I'm going to do a chart analysis that's going to show you that the real top is more like 21,000, maybe 25. I'll explain to you. Stick around. And the hashtag yes2x, you'll see why. Hold on here. And when the price goes down, ride the bear. All right, don't be afraid to ride that bear. So, oh goodness. All right, so I'll get to the chart analysis towards the end. Let me do my thing here, but I'll get to it. Anyways, as dual overhead Camness says, ride the bear. He doesn't really say that, but he knows what I'm talking about. Buy the dips as well is what he would say. Here's another meme, and it's still a hashtag yes2x. I'll get to the reason why, but the video on the left, that shows you how to ride the bear. The QR code on the right is the time for the original SegWit 2x hard fork. Now, I don't know if that time still applies, but it's up there. We'll find out. We have 5 more days or 4 more days until the original hard fork was supposed to set in. Now, whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know, but watch this in my next thing here. So, Paulo Green, yesterday, right after I did the show, I was making fun of the whole BitPico thing, where they mentioned that they were going to continue with the hard fork, and despite 6 people, calling it off. So I had a link from Paulo Green right after the show yesterday, and it was to a link to bitcoin2x.org. Now, everything I've seen so far, it looks like just a copy and paste, and it looks like a troll and a joke. When I originally looked at it, it actually said something else. It said something like, the same thing. I think we're going to continue with the hard fork, and that 6 people do not control Bitcoin, something like that. Now it says something else. Okay, it says we are a group that plan to continue with Bitcoin 2x fork. Following the community feedback, we are now exploring different replay protection addition to the fork to avoid network instability. Stay tuned. With a little, I guess, a meme, Win Moon. Anyways, if this is true, now keep in mind this may be a complete utter joke, okay? But if this is true, then this may be a viable fork. If there was no replay protection, and if it was a hard fork with no replay protection, with 30% hashing power, I don't think it would really survive, because it would take 33 minutes and 33 seconds, about 33 minutes to mine 1 block. On the very first day, they would be behind maybe 2.5 days or 3 days. That's on the first day. And on the second day, they'd definitely be behind like 6 to 5 days. And anyways, what I'm trying to say, without a hard fork and replay protection, there might have been a chance that part of the chain, that hard fork, could just die or get reorganized or drop or get wiped out. There could have been a real chance on that. Even though it's supposed to be an increase in size, and because of the increase in size should be a different chain, but I don't think it'll last through the next difficulty adjustment. But in this case, if it is true that they're going to hard fork with replay protection, that usually tells me that this is going to be what they call a quote-unquote friendly fork. If this is true, it may not be. But if that is the case, then they can survive, just like Bitcoin Cash survived. So most likely, if they do hard fork, they'll do one of those emergency difficulty adjustments along with it. So they'll do a replay protection with some kind of emergency difficulty adjustment, just to survive until the difficulty adjusts to the 30% hashing power that they have. Now, so far, I can't see any difference in the hashing rate. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at it. Let's see if Coin Wars. Not Corn Wars, Coin Wars. There we go. Let's take a look at the hashing rate right now. Sunspun production. I have not seen the Roger Ver video that he put out. Hello, buy Bitcoin. How you doing? Oh, look at all these ads. Okay, so well, you know what? Look at that. There is a drop in hash rate. Now that might be because Bitcoin Cash has gone up in value, so the hashing power might have moved over to Bitcoin Cash. That might be true. I have to check Bitcoin Cash hash rate. Which let me see if I can do that in here. Can I even do that? Uh, calculators. I don't even know how to use this site. Mining calculator. Maybe that mining calculator will help me. Let me see. BCH. Okay. Bitcoin Cash mining calculator. Maybe this will give me an idea. I don't know how to use this. I wish it would tell me what the current hashing rate is. Oh, there's the current difficulty, but it doesn't tell me the network hashing power. So oh well. Anyways, let me go back to Bitcoin then. There is a significant drop. I don't know if that's contributed to the fact that that Bitcoin Cash is at a higher price. It's probably profitable right now to mine Bitcoin Cash. So some of the mining power moved over, but there is a reduction in mining power. You can see that, and it's quite a bit right now. A reduction in the hashing rate. So who knows? Maybe there's something going on that we don't know. Anyways, so there's that. So there's more confusion. It's not over yet, maybe. But again, this may all be a joke. And Sunspun Production, if you could leave a link after the show to Roger Ver's video, that'd be awesome. That way, people can watch it. Okay, and the next thing here. All right, so next part here is Bitcoin Cash will be called Bitcoin in 6 months. Now, there's another article here. I'll go up to it here. This has come from Block Explorer News, and there's a link to this section of the website. But it'll give you a feed to the most recent news. But Bitcoin Cash price storms to 850 after SegWit 2x fails to activate. Well, right now, last time I checked, Bitcoin Cash is about $1,000. So that's quite surprising. That's an all-time high. But let's go on to the article that I wanted to talk about, which was this. Bitcoin Cash will be called Bitcoin in 6 months. Classic declares a victory after SegWit 2x cancellation. So it looks like the Classic and maybe the Unlimited has joined with Bitcoin Cash. If you consider these groups, they probably had Bitcoin. Maybe they still have Bitcoin, but they may have actually also sold their Bitcoin and moved into Bitcoin Cash, and that could be a reason for the pump in the price. So this is a maybe an effort to kill Bitcoin or try to compete with Bitcoin. Although Jihan Wu has made tweets about they're not competing, they're being friendly. Let's just work on the coin that you want to work on. But in this space, in this cryptocurrency space, every altcoin, every new altcoin, every new Ethereum that comes out, every new ICO token that comes out directly competes with Bitcoin. Now, whether they say they don't, whether their coin or token does something that Bitcoin doesn't, it doesn't matter, because you're fighting for attention, you're fighting for money, right? You're fighting for market dominance. This is, I guess you could say, the free market at work. You know, you're fighting for that network effect. You're fighting for dominance. You're fighting for money. You're fighting for attention. So every time there's a new cryptocurrency out there, a new token, it is competing. Whether you like it or not, you are competing. And so when you have a competitor, it's human nature to be hostile against your competitor. It is. It's just human nature. Now, we ourselves would never say we're hostile, but our instincts tell us to be hostile. All right. So, anyways, um, it looks like the manager or the classic manager, uh, Tom Zander, um, looks like they're joining forces with Bitcoin Cash. And let me see, read some quotes here. The fact that the legacy chain is stuck at 1 MB. I'm reading this quote well, right here in particular. Or let me see if I can get it. There we go. The fact that the legacy chain is stuck at 1 MB and likely always will be confirms that cash chain's viability, Zander wrote, and that means that Classic has fulfilled its promise. All right. Interesting. So there you go. So there may be a coordinated effort to kill Bitcoin. This is a Coin Wars thing. So there you go. Longs get wrecked. Kill Bitcoin. All right. So let me get into the fees here real quick. I'm going over the fees, and the fees are very high, very, very high, because the mempool is filled to almost 50K last time I looked. It might even be up to 60K by now. So you can see anything here, anything from, oh my goodness, from 340 Satoshis all the way down to 20 Satoshis. You could see the mempool for it is getting full. I would say anything below 200 Satoshis to 20 Satoshis, 200, 100, 180 Satoshis to 200 Satoshis. I expect your transactions to be stuck, all right, or be there for a very long time. Anything from 200 Satoshis to seems to be 200 to 300. It could get into the next block. It could take you, you know, a day, maybe 2 days. You know, there is a lot of transactions in the mempool right now. But anything, you know, the range seems to be right around this, in this range, 260 to 360. It looks like you're going to get your transactions in the mempool. And right now at 380 Satoshis, wow, it's actually moved. It's moved up higher. Last time I looked, it was 380. It's now 400. So 400 Satoshis per byte is the fastest and cheapest fee currently right now. That's 9,000 Satoshis. That is quite a bit. So anyways, that's expensive. That's a lot. 400 Satoshis at, gosh, what is that, 90? I'm not sure 9,000 Satoshis what that's worth. That's got to be 90,000. That's 0.0009. Um, well, it's almost a $7, $6 to $7 transaction fee at that price. That's just for 226 bytes. That's just a simple one output, two inputs. So that's pretty high. That means the mempool is definitely full. Let's take a look at the mempool. It's taking a while. Yeah, it seems like somebody, dual overhead cameras, it does seem like somebody is trying to put an attack, some kind of attack, a social media attack, coordinated manipulation of the price attack. And I don't know about the hashing power attack, but definitely they're trying to steal some hashing power. Someone's trying to steal hashing power through pumping the price of Bitcoin Cash. And that may be the reason why the transactions are taking longer on this chain. And I don't know why this is taking forever. Okay, there we go. All right. Wow. Now look at it. It's at 63,000 transactions. Look at this. This is on a 7-day right here. And you can see it's really, let me see, today's the 10th. Since the 10th, for the most part, it's really started spiking. Since yesterday, it's really started spiking. So the news of SegWit 2x being canceled, you can see either all the transactions are really moving over and they're being moved somewhere, a lot of things going on, or there's a lot of spamming going on. I'm not too sure. Also, looks like the mempool is doing 2.3. It's processing 2.2 transactions per second, which is usually low for this many. So it could be the hashing power. The hashing power does look like it went down, so causing a backlog. So you could see that hashing power is being moved over somewhere. And so if you can imagine, if SegWit 2x did happen, there would be 3 chains with SHA-256, and it would be even, I don't know, it would be even worse. So, okay, so there's that. If you want your fees to go through, you probably have to use at least 300 Satoshis per byte to get it moved relatively quick, probably within the next block. So let me see here. What's next? Chart analysis. Okay. All right. So this is the chart analysis that's going to explain why Bitcoin may go to 2100. Okay. So I'm sure you all enjoy this, but and I'll show you why, and I'll do my chart analysis. Okay. So I'm zoomed in. I'm just backing up to 2013, so I can do my long trend line here. I can do it with more preciseness. This is 2013. Fine. Okay, and I'm going to make another trend line. I'm going to also make another trend line here. So from, let's see, is that right? Yeah, okay. So 12 right here is 1200, right? About 1200, and this is what 250. This is same year, 2013. This was like around April 2013. This was around November 2013 right here. So I'm going to zoom in this particular area right here. So I'm just going to just move this over a little bit, and it's going to take me to that, right? And so I'm going to take the peak of this, and I'm going to actually go to, let me see if that's another peak right there. Okay, so, oh, sorry. I'm going to go and take a peek to the peak of this right there. Okay. So, all right. See that, you can see that what I did is I took the peak of this right here. Right here. Let me, oh, anyways. And you kind of see it right there. So I made two lines, one right here to this peak, which is at 250, and this is what, at 40 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. All right, so I've done that. All right, and so let me zoom out. Let me go out here, pull back a little bit more. All right, so this is 2013. So I've made two lines. All right, the high of, what is this, April 2013. That's probably when Silk Road was around. It peaked up and crashed. No, I said $21,000, 21K, Brian. That's right, 21K. All right. So now if we look at this, and then I took the high from the previous high, which was whatever, 40 bucks, right around here, I think $20. So if you look at this area right here, you'll see it's pretty much looks like this thing right here, except it's exponential. Now, yesterday someone said the price would be exponential, and I was like, well, could it be? Let's back test it. Let's go back to the previous bull market and bear market, the two previous bull bear market actually, and let's see what happens if we just draw a trend line from the top channel. So that's what you're seeing here. So this was November, the bull market of that time, and that's at 1200. And if you look here, the top of this, if I follow this channel, if I follow this line, this trend line, it hits a peak right about here. And what was the price? The high was $480. Now, if I was a trader and I just took a top, if I took that line and I said that's the channel, I would call that the top, right? I would say 480 is the top. That's it. I'm done. I sell and I call out the top. Well, if you saw what happened, 480 times 3, let's see if I can do the math right. 480 times 3 is, Brian, you're going to love this number, 1,440. Now, we didn't really come that close, but you get the idea, right? 480 times 3. And essentially, it almost did that. Let me see what it really came out to. Let me see, 1163 divided by 480. So it came out to 2.42 something. But let's just say 3. All right, I'll just round up. Why not? Let's overestimate just a little bit. So now you take that number, if you take this trend line, and let's say we do the same, because I'm seeing a repeated pattern with Bitcoin. You got to remember, Bitcoin halves every 4 years, right? The halving. The price has been reacting in the same way, and actually been getting, I wouldn't say more volatile, but you can see the prices are moving more at a higher price, right? It's moving a lot. So if I back out, right, and I take a look at this, it gets even more interesting. Okay, let me see if, all right, so if you look at this trend line right here, the short trend line, it does something very interesting right about here, right? It breaks through, comes down, bounces off of this trend line right here, interestingly enough. So there is some correlation here. And then from here, it takes off like crazy. It takes off like crazy, right? And so now I do the same thing. I take this trend line, the high from 11 whatever, from 1200 to the high of 250, and I put a trend line up here, and you get a price, about what I'll just say 7,000. Let's just say 7,000. Or where are we right now? Let me zoom in a little bit. I want to see what price it gets to. All right, 67,000. Almost where the price is right now. Almost where the price is right now. 67,000. So let me just take the price of 67,000. I actually use 20. Let's just, well, to be exact, let me 67,000 times. Let's see if I can remember. It's like 2.422, I think. 2.422. Let's just see what the exact number would be. Let me see. It says 16. It says 16,000, but I'm just going to go with 7,000 times 3. So I got 21,000. All right. So I just rounded the numbers up. So 7,000 times 3. All right. And that could be the top. That could be the real top. All right. And now other people have said 25,000. Other people have said 28,000. But if I'm looking at this, and if it's true, it does go exponential. We're really at a halfway point. And it's hard to believe that. But if you could imagine today's price being at 6,700 right now, the high at 7,800, you would never believe that. But now looking at this technical analysis, are we really at the top? We just may be halfway there in reality. We may actually only be a third of the way there. And really, the top is really at $21,000. We're just not seeing it right now, or we're just calling the top too early. So anyways, maybe you all in the chat can tell me what you think. And we could take it from there. But so far, if this analysis here, I mean, I'm showing you a technical analysis from, I know it's past performance, but the way these lines kind of meet up, it's hard to say, no, this doesn't make any sense. There is some validity here. There really is. Now, let me do a normal technical analysis, all right? Now that I've done a technical analysis that shows that we're not at the top and that we're only a third of the way from the top, I hope that makes you feel better. Anyways, let me now do my normal technical analysis. So let's see here. Let's go to an hourly. Let's take a look at that hour. All right. Wow. We look at that. It's it almost seems it's reacting to that trend line, and it dipped down, as you can see here. Kind of struggled to stay above it, and then broke through it. Now we're at the bottom. What's the low right here? It's at 67.29. No, I'm sorry, 64.29.40. That's the low right here. And you can see it's going up and it's hitting. It's really hitting this trend line. Look at that. It's just hitting right now. It's just reacting to it. Now it could go down. It could go up. It could just be struggling. You know, it's hard to say right now what it's doing. So that's on a 1 hour. So there's something to that line. It's psychological now. Maybe people have been watching this video and they're thinking about it. Not sustainable. I don't know. I mean, this is Bitcoin. This could be just a pullback. We could be just at the third or halfway point. We could be at a third. It pulls back right now into a correction only to jab up higher. I mean, people are calling tops. If you think about the technical analysis that I did back in 2013, $480 would have been the top. People would have called the top on that, but it went all the way up to almost 1,200. So if we're assuming that this is a cycle of bull and bear markets, and possibly this is exponential, because after all, we're only getting what, 12 and a half Bitcoin, which is half the amount of 25 Bitcoins that was being rewarded at the time in 2013. So if we're looking at technical analysis, right, and we're looking at a long-term technical analysis, bull and bear market, you have to consider this could be, you know, a possibility, because we're not, at the time when we're looking at this, we're going, oh yeah, we're at the top, just like 480 was the top back then, but it blew right through that. Wasn't the top at all. Matter of fact, it was only the third of the way there. So anyways, that's for 1 hour. Let me go to the 12 hour right now. So this is, I'm doing a chart analysis just looking at this right now. All right. Oh my God, look at that. Look at those lines. This line is from, let me just back up real quick. Okay, so I made these two lines. They represent the top channel. Okay, they represent the top. This line right here represents the top channel at 258 and at $40 right here, going through right here. This line right here is 1100 or 1200, and then 250 right there. So I'm looking at these two lines, and so when I go to 12 hour, the lines, they meet up. Some, look at that. It actually goes right here. Look at that, 1130. It bounces that off of 1130. That's amazing. Look at that. And it's going past up here, and the price is still hanging around. It's still hanging around. So could there be a correction? Maybe. There might be. This might be just a small pullback, a small correction. So, you know, just take it for, just be open-minded about this, okay? Just think about it. So I did some chart analysis after the show yesterday, after someone said, you know, the price can go up to 72,000. I thought that was a little too high, but you know, they talked about being exponential. So I did go back to the previous bull markets, just the last previous two bull markets, to get a trend line, and this is what I got. This is the outcome that I got. So there, you know, I think there's something to it. Let's go to daily. Let's have a look at the daily. And I'm just pulling back out really far. Yeah, you can see it right here on the daily. Look at that trend line. Touches here, touches here. So what does this trend line mean? There must be some significance, because if you look at the price, it looks like it's reacting to it. This is on a daily. You see that it might touch this longer term average line, and it's what, at 6,200. So there could be some support at 6,200. It could be bouncing in between these two lines for the purposes of a pullback to have it push back up again. Could be. You have to consider that fact. Now, if you're in a position like where I am, I probably have no risk in this. Maybe I have a little bit of risk, right? Most of my gains are risk-free. I'm not going to sell for me selling. If it does go down, and if I can get a confirmed, all right, a confirmed downtrend, which would be 2 lower lows on a long-term trend, like on a weekly, then I can say, yes, it's confirmed, we're on a downtrend. But that hasn't happened yet. I think we're calling the top a little too early. Just hear me out. Maybe we're calling the top a little too early. But you never know. If it does go down and we're go back into a bear market, that's okay. I'll ride the bear market. I'm ready for the bear market. I've been waiting since actually $6,000 to $5,000 for a bear market. But considering what some people in the chat was talking about yesterday, I reanalyzed it on a longer term basis, and the trend lines that I'm getting, they seem to have a great deal of correlation. Okay, on the 3-day, it looks like this red candlestick looks like it's bouncing off the shorter term weighted average, moving average. It looks that way. And then this candlestick, which is it's just new, it is reacting to the average line, the moving average, and it's also reacting to this top trend line as well. You can see that. So watch the price, watch the trend line. If it can break that trend line again, we could be just returning back to a bull market. It could just the bull market or the unicorn market or whatever, the trend could be just going. And I did mention that there was a big gap here. Now that gap is gone. You can see there's a gap right here, right about here. So it's moved a little bit faster than the average and then pulled back. But that gap is filled now, and now it's riding that average line again, that moving average. It's riding it again. So are we calling the top too early? Maybe. But if it is a top, I'm okay with that, because I'm ready. I'm ready to buy the big dip, not the little dips, the big dip, and get more Bitcoin. The weekly, there is still a gap here, so there is a little concern. So there is a chance that it could go down further, and if it does, I'm looking at this short-term 11 period. I think it's simple moving average. What is that? It's around 6,000. Somewhere around 6,000 is where it's at right now. So it may pull down that far. Worst case scenario. I mean, I go down to my other average here, and that's at 4,000. So these may be some points for a market order. I keep it simple. Now, I wish I could trade on exchanges, because, man, I think I would be making more Bitcoin. But because I don't anymore, and I trade mostly peer-to-peer, I don't even use exchanges. And I'm glad I don't, because if I did, I would probably have sold my Bitcoin on the exchanges, and then I would have missed out on all these gains. All right. Now that I'm basically am trading peer to peer. I'm literally holding my Bitcoin and owning my private keys. So there's that. So that's what I got here. And let me just zoom out as much as I can so you can see everything. So that's kind of what I got, and that's the analysis I did after the live stream yesterday. Well, not directly after, but earlier this morning, I woke up and I said, I wonder if it can be exponential. And we are going into some kind of S curve, because if you look at the top trend lines, and if you have a chart that goes back further, you can just keep doing this. And what you're going to notice is the trend line, this trend line here and this trend line here, it keeps, the angle keeps getting steeper and steeper and steeper and steeper, and it just gets steeper. And so what it's really doing, it really is, and it could really be making an S curve. You know, we could be getting to the point where we are at an S curve, because if you think about it, we're at 12 and a half Bitcoin reward block, Bitcoin rewards for every block that's mined. In a couple of years, it's going to be 6 and a quarter. Now, since I've been involved since 2013, it's been 25 Bitcoins. And a couple more years now in 2020, what is that, almost 3 years after this year, just 2 more years, it's going to be 6 and a quarter. So if the miners want to keep mining, that price of that Bitcoin must go up in order to keep the hashing power to safe enough to secure this network. So we could, I mean, I really thought about this, and yeah, we could be in an S curve. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm okay with that too, because I'm ready to buy in the bear market. I am ready. And now that I'm experienced and I have a better idea of how the market works, I'm going to make the most of it this time. I'm going to maximize my profits. And I'll buy a Lambo, and I'll buy a mansion, and I'll buy a yacht, and I'll make videos of me on the yacht every day, not just one day. And you know, I'll own a hotel chain, not rent or be in a hotel for 1 or 2 days, you know. So that's the ultimate goal, right? That's the ultimate goal. Anyways, if you have any further questions, you should probably ask now. Let me see what's in the chat room here. Sunspun Production. Let me see here. Let me go into the meme. Let's see here. It says, let me see. Thank you for being in the chat, everybody. Let me see. The system is exponential. Brian says the system is exponential. Yeah, I think so, because if you look at the halving, it literally halves half, but every time it does that, the effects of the halving are exponential onto the network. You know, at 50, I mean, literally, this network started with 50 Bitcoins, 25, 12 and a half, and we're at 12 and a half right now. So you've gone from 50 Bitcoins to 12 and a half Bitcoins. That's going to have an exponential effect on the price and onto the network, the Bitcoin network anyway. And in literally 2 more years, it's going to be 6 and a quarter. So now you've gone from 50 Bitcoins to 6 and a quarter. That, it's got to have an exponential effect through the entire ecosystem. It's got to. So people who have 10 Bitcoins, they're going to be millionaires. Maybe I'm just, you know, daydreaming right now. Maybe. I don't, you know, but it really got me thinking after live stream yesterday. And so yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go over live coin market. I'm really enjoying this listing site. Oh, Brian, don't worry. You can live in the hotel for free if that happens. If my predictions are right and my chart analysis is right, Brian, you can like do whatever you want in that hotel. All right, you can do whatever you want. You can run the hotel if you wanted to. You know, you can just spend the night in any room. Make a video. You know how you're living the great life. You know, you'll be like, oh, I'm living the great life. Make a video every day. All right, so this is livecoin.com. What I like about it is that it's live and it's giving you the price feed as it's happening right now. And it also gives me a 7-day. So I can actually reduce this. I'm going to reduce this just to Bitcoin. Just type in Bitcoin and you'll probably see like a million other coins. No, not really. But it gives me all the Bitcoin coins. I can't believe there's that many Bitcoins out there. There's Bitcoin as we know it, and then Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Dark, Bitcoin Plus, Bitcoin 21, Light Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin Gold. So it gives you the ranking. And if you try to look for BitConnect, BitConnect will not show up. All right, so let's take a look here. So let's have a look here. I wanted to look at Bitcoin Cash. It's dipped a little bit, but I did see it go to $1,000. And if you look here, I'm going to try to, well, it shows me the 7-day. So 1 week, Bitcoin is up 40%. Bitcoin Cash is up 40%. In 1 week, Bitcoin is down by 8%. Now, most of this happened within the 24-hour period for Bitcoin. So just in 24 hours, it was down 7%. Bitcoin Cash has gone up quite a bit. I'm going to ignore the rest of these because these aren't a part of the fork. I don't own them. So, but here's Bitcoin Gold. I did want to show you that it is up. Check this out, 121% for the week, and the current price of Bitcoin Gold is $277. So I'm going to click on Bitcoin Gold real quick here. And its place is, as far as coin market cap, is 388 on livecoin.com. So this is actually gives me live feeds on this. This is just the futures though. It doesn't even, well, there's no coin market cap on Bitcoin Gold. So when it actually gets a coin market cap, it's probably going to be around where Dash is. Anyway, so here's what it looks like today, Bitcoin Gold. A big rush, a big push. So if you have Bitcoin Gold, you may be able to cash in on this because it's literally, when's it going live? The 12th. So Sunday, you'll be able to do it. I don't know why it's pumping. I would think that it would be going down, but it looks like people are buying into it. Go figure. Let's do an all-time just to give you an idea. Now it looks like it's moving a lot, which it is. It is moving a lot. For 1 week, it's 121% increase. But if you go to all-time high or all-time chart view, not so much. Not so much. Not moving that much at all. It's been flat for the longest time. And now it's kind of moving. It's kind of trending. It's going to be interesting to see as soon as it becomes available. And keep in mind, Bitcoin Gold on Coinbase won't be available until January. So even then, not all of it is available. So I don't know if I'm going to dump. I probably won't. I'll probably do a tutorial on how to split it in your Coinomi wallet. And I'll probably do another tutorial in how to sweep it from a paper wallet. And that's about it. On the Coinomi wallet, it should be simple. If you have your backup seed, you should be able to use any backup seed and import it into your Coinomi wallet, and then you should be able to split your Bitcoin and Bitcoin Gold. So Coinomi wallet is probably the thing to use. I can't say yes or no yet, because the last time I I didn't have any Bitcoin on my Coinomi wallet with Bitcoin Cash, but I did try to sweep from my private key and it didn't work. And so we'll see what happens with Bitcoin Gold. I think Coinomi has learned, hopefully they learned from that whole experience and they're ready for Bitcoin Gold. Hopefully it'll be very easy. This time I do have um, Bitcoin on Coinomi wallet, so I'm able to split it. And I'll do a video on that to show everybody. I'll try to do it tomorrow, because I know the network is going to go, the mainnet of Bitcoin Gold is going to go live, so you'll be able to have it. But I think it's real easy. You know, if you want to have an idea of how to do it, I do have Coinomi videos for at the time of Bitcoin Cash, but I'll try to put a video out tomorrow on how to split Bitcoin Gold. It should be real easy. I've done it with Bitcoin Gold. I'm pretty sure it's going to be real easy with Bitcoin. I'm sorry, Bitcoin Cash. I'm sure it's real easy with Bitcoin Gold on Coinomi. And so I'll do that. So if you have any of these quote unquote dividends, or what do you call them? Dividends or derivatives of Bitcoin or forks of Bitcoin, you're making money now. You know, if you had 10 Bitcoin, you got $2,700 from Bitcoin Gold. Let me see, what's the other one? Bitcoin. I'll take a look at Bitcoin Cash real quick. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash real quick. 40% increase in a week. That's not bad. Up to $1,000. That's I can't complain. So if you had 10 Bitcoin and you ended up with 10 Bitcoin Cash, that you have a $10,000 right now. That's not bad. So this is today. Looks like it peaked out at almost 10,000. Oh, I'm not sorry, 10,000. $1,005, I think is what it's saying here. Let me see here. What did it end up? Yeah, 1,036. It peaked out. So not too bad. Let's see. Let's have a look at the overall all time on Bitcoin Cash. Okay, not too bad. It's spiking now. It is really spiking now. Is it sustainable? Because looks like there was a spike right about here. It's like it spiked here and it just slowly died off all that time. If it can go up and make a higher high than this, which it looks like it has, because the highest high was 900, and it looks like it spiked up. Let me see if I can. Nope. Let me see this year. Okay, well, that's what it's giving me. So it looks like it has gone up to 500, 600, 1,500. Has it? Let me see. This week. Let's have a look at this week. Oh, it just says 1,000, 1,300. Okay, so I'm okay with that. I mean, I haven't touched or moved my Bitcoin Cash, but if it spiked up, that's good. So Brian says, I swept some Bitcoin Cash from a private key into Coinomi last week, and it worked fine. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. So you can sweep into your Coinomi wallet once you split or add Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Gold to your Coinomi wallet. That's great. Wow. All right. Excellent. Excellent. That's nice. Let me see here. So this is LivecoinWatch.com. I like it. It's really nice, and there's not a lot of banner ads, and also there's no BitConnect. So right on. Anyways, all right. So now, I'm going to conclude this episode right here. So unless anybody has any questions for me, I'll probably be concluding this episode. So anyways, feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment after the live stream. Also do a video response. Until next time, everyone, stay tuned.